on? Tony D and little Joan here, who won't stay in her seat. There's actually so much news going on. I'm actually had to do a little research. That's how crazy it's getting. This article here, I couldn't believe it. Right on the heels, by the way, Project Veritas just dropped a major bombshell last night. They're apparently stealing ballots in the Minnesota area, and Ilhan Omar is tied into it. Her people, apparently, she's got a network of locals. They're stealing. Apparently, they're taking, not stealing really. They're buying off or stealing in some cases, I believe. Empty or blank ballots, blank mail-in ballots from elderly Somalis. This is very typical tactics. They always go for the immigrants because, see, immigrants are less likely to go to the cops. They may not know the language. This is exactly when you have organized crime. They target the exact same ethnic group that the crime family is part of. It's happened generation after generation. And so Ilhan Omar's organization apparently is targeting Somalis, elderly Somalis of all people, and stealing their blank ballots in order to sway the election for Minnesota, apparently. So go to Project Veritas and watch the video. It's only part one. He's got more info. So check that out. So I saw that last night, and I was like, wow. And I was talking about it today at work. And then I saw this today. And I was like, well, I got to make sure this is for real, because this is crazy. Biden's Texas political donor accused of illegal ballot harvesting, too, at, Texas Supreme Court. So I did a search, and apparently the Texas Scoreboard, another news source, I don't know how reliable these sources are, but this is two of them, are running the same kind of story. Two different reporters here. So, and this is Biden's campaign. So let's read a little bit. The Joe Biden campaign's Texas political director has been formally accused. So this isn't a rumor. This is a formal accusation of helping to run an illegal ballot harvesting operation, according to two separate affidavits filed on Monday in the Texas Supreme Court. So this is real. I mean, you can't fake this. Two private investigators, including a former FBI agent and a former police officer, testified under oath that they have video evidence, documentation, and witnesses to prove that Biden's Texas political director, Dallas Jones, what a Texas name that is, Dallas Jones, and his cohorts are currently hoarding mail-in and absentee ballots and ordering operatives to fill the ballots out for people illegally, including for dead people, homeless people, and nursing home residents in the 2020 presidential election. I mean, does this surprise anybody? Really? This mail-in ballot thing was going to be a disaster, and it already is. Thanks a lot. And you can put this right on the feet of Democrats. Right on them. I mean, you could go out and march in a BLM rally. You can go out and you can go to a major franchise and shop there. You can go to the ATM. You can even go to the movies in a lot of states, in restaurants, whatever. Oh God, vote? Oh no, you got to stay home for the voting. Somehow the virus will be worse there. No, there's absolutely no reason. When you have Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx both in agreement, yeah, you could go vote. Just wear your mask and social distance. There's no problem here. They've made this a problem because they want to try to steal the election if it's close. And if it's not close, they'll say Trump is an invalid president. Because he's going to win. He's going to win in a landslide because of nonsense like this. And there will be lawsuits and arrests to beat the band. This guy, I mean, he's already being taken to court. So the affidavits were filed as part of a class action lawsuit against Harris County and the state of Texas, filed by citizens called Steve Hotz, MD, et al., journalist Patrick Howley of National File. Oh, this is the guy who wrote this. Oh, no. Yeah. He's saying that he has exclusively obtained the testimony and much of the evidence that will be coming out in the case. Oh, wow. Dallas Jones was named in the Biden campaign's Texas political director in early September. So this guy isn't like a guy who from 10 years ago or something. This guy, he was just named political director in September. It's still September. This is ridiculous. We should not. Mail in is going to be a disaster. I don't recommend, unless you're deathly ill, elderly, or have a medical condition, go to the. I cannot urge you enough to go vote. You know, take precautions if you need to, but you got to go vote. Wash your hands, but, you know, go vote. I have in my possession videotaped interviews of witnesses attesting to the affirmation people having groups of people completing thousands of absentees and mail-in ballots, including completing ballots for deceased individuals, illegally going into nursing homes with the complicity of the nursing home staff, and filling out and forging the signatures of nursing home residents, signing up homeless individuals to vote, using ballot harvesters' address, then completing the ballot and forging the homeless individual's signature. I mean, really? This is a nightmare. You guys are trying to turn us into a third world country. And I believe, ultimately, a lot of this is being pushed by China. But I'll get into that in another video. I mean, I think a lot of it's Democrats, too, don't get me wrong. But I think they're perfectly willing to use China to help gain power if they have to. They see it as them using China, but really it's the other way around. So this is an outrage. You have to. I mean, we've got two major bombshells now. This one's already going to court. The other one, that's got to go to court. I mean, it's bad. Watch the video. I'll put a link. It's bad. It's really, really freaking obvious. There's some illegalities going on. I mean, the guy basically confesses the crimes right on videotape. So, I mean, you got two major states. Maybe they'll just be thrown out entirely. I don't know. I don't think they could do that. But I think what could happen is the Supreme Court could either just hand it to Trump, or they could say that mail-in ballots are invalid, unless under very specific circumstances, which they're never going to be able to, do. Jesus, Joan, you've licked my whole arm. I don't know what's so tasty on it. Gross. Anyhow, at least she's not barking. This is just, it's infuriating. It's infuriating to read this. Especially they're taking advantage of old people, and that's a real low. I mean, it's one thing, okay, like homeless guys, you give them a couple of bucks, you get their vote. I get it. They're grown adults at least. But old people, come on, man. We already got an old guy who barely knows where he is running for president. I mean, I guess it makes sense they're forced to vote for him, too. I mean, is this the way you want to win? The Democrats are so high and mighty when they talk about Trump and all the wonderful things they want to do for people. But really, think about it. Is this how you want to win? Is this what it means to be a good person? If you're part of this? If you're part of an organization that's willing to stoop to this level? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. And I think you know that if you're still hanging on for Biden. I mean, it's insane. And I know you're going to tell yourself, well, it probably was a big mistake, and Biden's still good. He probably doesn't know. Yeah, Biden doesn't know where he is. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't know this or a lot of other things. But I'm not seeing scandal after scandal coming out about the Trump administration. Yeah, one of his guys went nuts, but he's got a lot of guys, so. And he fires everybody eventually, so I'm not too worried about that. When one of Biden's guys go and he's this deep, I think the Texas Supreme Court has to throw out all the mail ballots, at least. At least. Not that Texas wasn't going to go for Trump anyway. But this is ridiculous. It is absolutely, I mean, this is just the Democrats attempting to displace Trump and or laying the groundwork so they could say he's not a real president. And I'm telling you, Democrats, you're destroying the name Democrat. Mark my words. Trump wins or loses, it's not going to matter. There will come a time where people will just refuse to vote for you regardless. Oh, you're a Democrat? I don't vote for Democrats anymore. That's what people are going to say. That's how bad this is getting. Now, you might sneak by with Biden this time, but I'm telling you, down ballot, it's going to be a big FU too. A big FU. And Biden's not going to be able to run anything. Neither is Harris. You think the Republicans are just going to sit there and take it? They're actually good at their jobs. Mitch McConnell is good at running the Senate, and he ain't going nowhere. Turn the boat around, Democrats. Lose with dignity again.